Let's start with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have read last we read was chapter 1, text 10. So we start with text 11. All of you must now give full support to Grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Let's read the purport. Duryodhan, after praising the prowess of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So, in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. Oh, Duryodhana is becoming very diplomatic. He emphasized that Bhishma Deva was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man. So everyone must especially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhan clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishma Dev. He was confident of the full support of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjun's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort. Excuse me, 1 minute. Sorry, there's someone at the door. Sorry, where were we? Yeah, he was confident of the full support of Bhishma Deva and Dronacharya in the battle because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjun's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice, while she was being forced to appear naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that these generals would now completely give it up as they had done during the gambling performance. Text 12. Let's go move on to text 12. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhan joy. Let's read the purport. The grandsire of the Guru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of the grandson Duryodhan, and out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly, befitting his position as a lion. Indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhan that he had no chance of victory in the battle. Bhishma already knows that we are not going to win. Why? Because Krishna is on the other side. The God is on the other side. So, indirectly, by the symbolism of conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhan that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in that connection. So, like, even if the Dronacharya, Bhishma, all these powerful warriors are on the other side, they still have the fear of losing because they can see Lord Sri Krishna is against them. So even the most powerful person will feel this if he goes against Lord Krishna. I'm sorry, there's someone at the door. Please give me a minute. Yes. Let's move on to text 13. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. I don't know if that sounded correct. Okay, text 40. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjun, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Purport. In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Dev, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjun, conch shells means shank, are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesam Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune, that is Mahalakshmi, is also there because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjun as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjun, and this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the three worlds. Let's move to text 15. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhim, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. Purport. Let's read the purport. Lord Krishna is referred as Rishikesh. So Rishikesh, the meaning of Rishikesh means the one who can control all his senses is called Rishikesh. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesh in this verse because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalist cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity. And in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjun and thus his particular name of Rishikesh. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana, because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as son of Vasudev. His name is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandan because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Partha Sarathi because he worked as charioteer of his friend Arjun. Similarly, his name is Rishikesh because he gave direction to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Amazing. Arjun is referred to as a Dhananjay in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhim is known as Vrakodra. I don't know how to pronounce this. Vrakodara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks such as killing of the demon Hidimba. So, the particular types of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that of the goddess of fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle, and that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shell. So text 16 and 18 are together. 16 to 18, sorry. Let's read that. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell. The Ananta Vijaya and Nakula and Sahadev blew the Sughosha and Mani Pushpaka. That great archer, the great archer, the king of Kasi, the great fighter Shikandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Shubhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Purport: Sanjay informed King Dasharatha very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle. Beginning with the grandsire Bhishma, down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world, all were present there and all were doomed. Mama. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dasharatha because he encouraged the policy followed by his son. 1 minute. Okay. Let's read text 19. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dasharatha. Amazing. Purport: When Bhishma and the other sons on the sides of Duryodhan blew their respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in this particular verse it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dashrata were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas' party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of Supreme Lord has nothing to fear even in the midst of the greatest calamity. That's so true. Text 20. At that time, Arjun, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dasharatha drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. So now Arjuna is speaking to Lord Krishna. Purport. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dashratha were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force by Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem, yes, the emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjun. We can see how much support Arjun is getting even spiritually, in this verse. So it like so much confidence spiritually universe is sending him so that he wins, he gets the courage to win. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjun is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Ram in the battle between Ram and Ravan, and Lord Ram emerged victorious. Now both Ram and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjun to help him. Lord Krishna is Ram himself, and wherever Lord Ram is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjun had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjun in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. Let's go to text 21 to 22. We have 5 minutes. Okay. Arjun said, now Arjun is saying this to Lord Krishna. O fallible one, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies. Thank you. Sorry. O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies, so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So Arjun wants to see who is there on the other side with whom he has to fight. In spite of having so much of support and the Lord has arranged for him, he still wants to see who is there. Purport. Although Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjun, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Like we can see everybody is following their duty. Duty comes first. That was the culture back then. Although he had accepted the position of charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Rishikesh, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Right. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above it to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master in all circumstances. So sweet. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjun has no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come into the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhan, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Text 23. Okay, I think we can finish text 23 in like one more minute and then we can do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay. Text 23. Let me see. This is again Arjun telling. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dashratha. Purport. It was an open secret that Duryodhan wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dashratha. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhan must have been birds of the same feather. Arjun wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiation with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. Text 24. Sanjay said, O descendant of Bharat, having thus been addressed by Arjun, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Purport. In this verse, Arjun is referred to as a Gudakesha. Gudaka means sleep, and the one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. I think everybody who feels sleepy is ignorant now, I have to admit. Oh, jokes apart. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment because is the nature of a devotee. Either in waking up or in sleep, a devotee of Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thus, a devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. So beautiful. This is called Krishna consciousness or Samadhi. As Rishikesh or the director of the senses and mind of every living entity, Krishna could understand Arjun's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Thus he did so and spoke as follows. I think we can end here. We have 2 minutes. Let's recite Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you. Amazing. Amazing.
Mama.